Hey, this is episode 33 of Sustainable Photography, and I'm Ingvild Kolnes, your podcast host. Photographers are very focused on creating art, storytelling, and photography, but in order of being the best photographer you can be for your clients, an important part of the package is the way you make your clients feel. And that's what today's episode is all about. You're listening to Sustainable Photography, where you get support and education to build your profitable business in a way that supports your way of living. I'm Ingvild Kolnes, and after 11 years as a photographer, I want to share what I've learned with you. So if you're looking for confidence, inspiration, and to the point tips, keep listening. For full transparency, I also want you to know that I'm a mentor with paid offers, and I might mention some of those in this episode. Most people haven't worked with a photographer before, and probably not with you. And even if they have, you might have changed some things from the last time you worked with that exact client. It could be a good idea to have your client go through your process no matter what. And that means to give them all the information they need, not only to get the photos they're expecting, but to have the best possible experience working with you as well. And a big part of this is you getting clear on your boundaries, your guidelines, and your process. I mean, do you work weekends, evenings, every weekday? Do you retouch your photos? Do you need 3 months to deliver the completed galleries? Do you only sell products and never digital files? You have to decide what's right for you, and then you have to tell your clients about it. Hopefully, wrapped in a way that shows how that benefits your client. When you tell your clients about how you work and what they get from you, they get reassured and they know what to expect. If you don't say anything, people might start questioning what you're doing, and even worse, they'll start feeling unsure and uncomfortable. Pretty much any piece of information that you have can be angled in a way that benefits your client. And honestly, most photographers kind of suck at this. Most photographers talk about their equipment and what they like and what they want. And please hear me when I say, just stop it. You're missing out on such a huge opportunity when you're not talking about your client and how what they get and what you do benefits them. Now, let's say that you reply to emails only Monday to Friday. You always want to have your weekends off. But you don't tell your clients that, like, I don't reply to you during weekends because I have that time off. You can either leave it as it is, like you'll get a reply within 48 hours, Monday to Friday, or you can add a sentence to say something like, to ensure that you get the thoughtful reply that you deserve, you'll get a reply within 48 hours from Monday to Friday. Instead of saying to your clients that you don't know how to use Photoshop, you can say something like, you're beautiful enough as it is, so you never have to worry about any manipulation happening with your images. So, first, you have to decide what's right for you. And then you can phrase it in a way that benefits the kind of client that you want to work with. If you do your thing and you stay true to that, you get to do so much more of that. And your neighbor photographer gets to do more of their thing. Because even though you might seem similar and like some of the same things and maybe edit in the same way or have the same style, you probably have different values and you probably have different views of things. So if you let that shine through, then everyone benefits. Now, I don't have the facts and I don't think there is a right or a wrong in this. I'm just telling you what I believe and how I see things when it comes to running your photography business. And if you believe what I believe, and if you think that my way of looking at things sounds like what you want more of, then maybe you'll want to work with me and have me as your mentor. But if you don't believe what I believe, then that's okay. You should find someone else to work with. And that's why sharing values and beliefs with your followers is so brilliant. Because if I hide my way of seeing the world and what makes me different, then you won't know if we're a good match or not. And if you start working with me and you completely disagree with me and you want to solve your problems in a different way, then you probably won't be happy and you won't get any results. And it's the same way for photography, which is why I'm mentioning this. So, if you want to work with me, you should definitely get on the waitlist for my mentor program that opens this fall. There's going to be surprises for those on the waiting list, so don't miss out. And in the meantime, I do have a couple of openings for Voxer coaching this summer. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically like having a mentor in your pocket. You can ask any questions at any time, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can within 36 hours. So, yeah, just send me a DM if you're curious. When you inform your clients about what they can expect from you, you want to make sure that you promise them less than what you can give. If you say that they can expect an answer back from you as soon as possible, but within 2 days, then you're setting yourself up to give a bad first impression if that answer doesn't come until those 2 days have passed. So set a deadline that you know that you have no problem holding. Remember, you set the expectations. It's your job to let the clients know what they should expect from you. If you say you'll get your images this week, then you can't say the following week, oh, they're almost done now. I had something personal come up. Because you should always expect something to come up and set your deadlines accordingly. Set yourself up for success and do what you can to make your clients happy within the boundaries that you are comfortable with. I bet you've sometimes had thoughts like, oh no, why did my clients choose those clothes? Or why are they asking for their images the day after their wedding? Or why are they getting annoyed when I tell them that retouching is extra? It's right there in the contract. You might think that people should just know how things work and what to expect when working with you. But honestly, you are the professional. It's your job to explain how things work. Even if something is industry standard, it really doesn't help. You have to give information again and again and make sure it's understood. Your clients might never have worked with a photographer, or they've seen other photographers whose images look nothing like yours and they don't understand why yours are different or why you do things in a different way than another photographer that they might have worked with before. You have to explain your ways of doing things, and probably in more ways than one. And you also have to keep in mind that your clients, they don't always know what's best for them. They might think that the middle of the day is the best time for wedding day portraits because that's when there's time for it and that's when they've seen everyone else they know have their photos done. They might think that they want web files when you know that really they, of course, want wall prints. You have to use your expertise to educate your clients and your potential clients. That way, you come across as being the expert that they need, but you also tell them what they need to believe in order of getting the best experience when working with you. If you normally ask your clients to show up in neutral clothing and you always photograph in nature, but you have clients insisting on showing up in bright colors and high heels that they can't walk on, they probably will be left with a less than ideal experience. They'll be uncomfortable during the shoot, and their images won't look anything like what they've seen before. And that's why it's not enough to say what you're all about. You have to be on the same page with your clients. You have to be prepared to say no if it's not a good match. Right then and there, it might feel like you're turning away money, but in the long run, you're really staying true to your brand and your values, and you'll get so much further. Of course, sometimes you're going to come across a client who hasn't heard a thing you're saying and they'll do something completely opposite and things will get messed up in one way or another. And sure, go complain to your friends. That's really important. But don't complain to your clients when you have made a mistake because you will make mistakes. It's not enough to have information on your website or even in your contract. You have to explain and you have to make sure it's understood. That means repeating it many times and often in different ways. If written information isn't working, then bring it up in your conversations, make a video for them, refer to it in your questionnaire, have them confirm that they've understood it, and test your workflow and your information on non-photographers. Don't ask your photographer friends if things are okay. Ask someone who has no idea about what you do. And if they have questions or hesitations, it means that you're not being clear enough. Just make it easy, make it understandable. So if it takes you longer to edit the session because the lighting was bad, don't tell your clients that. Don't complain about it on Instagram. Instead, just make a note to tell your next clients how to improve the lighting and how to get the best possible images. And you should probably increase your prices to cover the situation in the future. Don't base your prices on the best possible outcome because that's not how it is in real life. You messed up in this situation because you didn't take difficult editing situations into account. You should have informed your clients of how they can get better photos or / make your life easier, because it's all in the way you frame it. And yeah, that's another example of this. You can either say, this is how you can get the best possible photos, or you can say, do this to make my life easier. What do you think your clients are going to respond better to? And you can also tell future clients that if they don't take your lighting tips into account, you'll add a fee on for editing. There are so many solutions to this, but only you know what suits you and your brand. And that's why I always say that everything are pieces of the same puzzle, and you can't just do one thing better and then your business will be better. You, your brand, your pricing, your marketing, your workflow, it all ties together. I also want you to start taking notes from other businesses that you come across. How are they making you feel? And just start thinking, how do you want your clients to feel? And what can you do to make that happen? If you liked today's episode, don't forget to leave me a review and come on over to Instagram to say hi. Thanks for listening to Sustainable Photography. Head over to Instagram at Ingvild Kolnes to tell me what you want future episodes to be all about. Check out the show notes over at ingvildkolnes.com/podcast. You can learn more about the Sustainable Photography program and sign up for the waitlist there. To get more of this content, make sure you subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support makes all the difference. Talk soon.